South Korea plane crash. A tale of resilience and humanity. It was an unusually cold winter morning in Seoul, South Korea. The city was bustling as always, its skyscrapers piercing the low-lying clouds, and its streets filled with the rhythm of daily life. Among the crowd was Soo-jin, a 34-year-old schoolteacher with dreams of exploring new places. She had saved for years to embark on a long-awaited vacation to Jeju Island, known for its picturesque landscapes and serene beaches. Her flight, Jeju Airlines Flight 914, was scheduled to depart from Gimpo International Airport at 10:30 a.m. The terminal was packed with travelers, families eager for reunions, businesspeople in suits, and tourists clutching guidebooks. Among them was Min Ho, a retired firefighter, traveling to Jeju for the first time since his wife's passing, seeking solace. Sitting nearby was Ji Woo, an aspiring musician, with her guitar case resting by her side. As passengers boarded the plane, the atmosphere was light-hearted. Flight attendants greeted everyone warmly, ensuring they were comfortable. The captain's voice echoed over the intercom, assuring a smooth journey. Little did they know their lives were about to change forever. At 11:15 a.m., the plane had been airborne for 45 minutes, cruising over the East China Sea. Suddenly, an alarming jolt shook the cabin. Oxygen masks dropped as the aircraft trembled violently. The captain's voice, now strained, instructed passengers to fasten their seatbelts. "Mayday, mayday." The pilot's voice crackled over the radio. "We have an engine failure. Preparing for an emergency landing." Panic spread like wildfire. Some passengers clutched their loved ones, while others whispered prayers. Soo-jin, seated by the window, gripped her armrest, her heart pounding. She glanced at Min Ho across the aisle, who noticed her fear and gave her a reassuring nod. The plane descended rapidly, and within minutes, it crashed into a snow-covered field in a remote village near the coast. The impact was deafening. Amid the chaos, flames erupted from one of the engines, and smoke filled the cabin. Survivors emerged from the wreckage, disoriented and in shock. Despite his age, Min Ho's instincts as a firefighter kicked in. He began helping passengers escape, guiding them through the broken fuselage to safety. "Follow my voice," he shouted, carrying a young boy whose mother was injured. Soo-jin, inspired by his bravery, snapped out of her fear and started assisting others, offering comforting words and guiding them away from the flames. Ji Woo, though shaken, used her scarf to bandage a fellow passenger's wound. As they gathered in the freezing field, the reality of their situation sank in. The village was isolated, with no immediate access to help. The survivors needed to act fast to ensure their survival. Min Ho took charge, rallying the group to work together. "We have to stay warm and find shelter," he said. Soo-jin and Ji Woo volunteered to search for supplies in the wreckage, while others worked to extinguish the fire using snow. Among the passengers was Dr. Kong, a surgeon, who began treating the injured with limited resources. He praised Ji Woo for her quick thinking. "You're a hero," he said, as she helped him stitch a wound with a sewing kit salvaged from a first aid box. The villagers, hearing the crash, arrived hours later with blankets, food, and medicine. Despite the language barrier, their kindness spoke volumes. They offered their homes as temporary shelters, warming the survivors with their generosity. Over the next 3 days, the survivors bonded with one another and the villagers. They shared stories of their lives, dreams, and regrets, realizing how fragile life could be. Min-ho, who had carried guilt over being unable to save his wife, found healing in helping others. Sujin, who had always been a quiet observer, discovered her strength and courage. Ji-woo, who doubted her ability to connect with people through her music, played her guitar one evening by the fire, her melodies bringing solace to everyone. The villagers' selflessness reminded the survivors of the power of compassion. They had little to give but offered everything they could, proving that humanity's greatest strength lies in its ability to care for one another. On the fourth day, rescue teams arrived. Helicopters hovered over the crash site, and medical teams rushed to tend to the injured. As the survivors were airlifted to safety, they looked back at the villagers who had saved them, their hearts heavy with gratitude. Min-ho hugged Sujin and Ji-woo. "We survived because we stood together," he said. "Never forget that." Months after the crash, Sujin returned to teaching, but her perspective had shifted. She encouraged her students to value kindness and resilience, using her experience as a lesson. Ji-woo pursued her music career with newfound confidence, her songs reflecting the strength of the human spirit. Min-ho, now a volunteer at a community center, dedicated his life to helping others. The villagers, once unknown to the world, received recognition for their heroic efforts. Their story became a symbol of unity, inspiring countless people across the globe. The crash of Jeju Airlines Flight 914 was a tragedy, but it also became a story of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest moments, humanity can shine its brightest. Life is unpredictable, and challenges can strike without warning. But in the face of adversity, courage, compassion, and unity can transform tragedy into triumph. The South Korea plane crash serves as a poignant reminder that when we stand together, we can overcome even the greatest of odds.